Good morning, Internet land. Welcome, everybody. We are just going to wait a moment for Instagram to catch up. And as soon as it does, we'll go live officially and get started with a topic that is really important to me, which is reminding us that we are meant to enjoy our lives. We really are meant to enjoy them, even though right now the world can feel like a dumpster fire. It just can. Okay. All right. So we are ready now. We are going to go live. Okay, so good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of DIY Wellness. I'm your host, Brian Hogan, life coach, filmmaker, clinical therapist. This is the show for people taking personal growth into their own hands. And today, what I want to talk to you guys about is this myth that somehow it's virtuous for us to be totally engaged in and sharing in the suffering of other people all the time, simply because of the way technology has gone and it has connected us in such a way that we can be more and more aware of things. And our nervous system was just not meant to hold the pain of the whole world. It just was not meant to. So I want to, this topic came to me because I saw a meme the other day, and the meme said, if you don't watch the news, you can't call yourself spiritual. I was like, what? I mean, that that's crazy. Like, imagine thinking that the intelligence that created galaxies and pervades all things is checking in to see if you watched the 6 o'clock news. I mean, come on. Come on. The news barely passes for information. It's propaganda. It's useless propaganda for the most part. We can find out the broad strokes of what's going on in the world without having to tune into the propaganda agenda-driven machine paid for by billionaires. We just don't. And so we've confused something in our hearts here because we are people who want to help with suffering. That's an inborn quality in humanity, despite what we see around us. And so we've confused attention to suffering with participation in healing. And it isn't a participating in healing to watch the news and to allow yourself to feel the depth and pain of all of the suffering of everyone around you that has been highly curated that you've now seen on the news. It's a manipulation, and we buy into it because we think that makes us virtuous or something. We've been taught if others suffer, then I should suffer too. If you feel good, then you're insensitive because life is a dumpster fire right now. And if you enjoy life, you're ignoring reality. Those are the sort of the messages out there in culture right now. And the hidden belief behind all of that is that somehow joy is morally suspicious. That actually to be in a place of joy, of enjoying things, is somehow morally suspicious, morally ambiguous, or morally wrong. That's ridiculous. Every moment of joy gets taxed right now. We have this guilt tax. But what about XYZ? Or, well, other people have it worse. So even when life offers joy to us, even when it's right there handing it to us, we interrupt it. We have these psychological mechanisms that help sort of nudge this along. One is called the negativity bias, where the brain really prioritizes threat. And so because it's prioritizing threat, we are naturally inclined to interrupt joy in order to be like, well, yeah, but am I actually safe? Can I actually relax? Because we're prioritizing threat. There's also social conditioning. Empathy gets distorted into self-punishment. So it's like, okay, I really feel for that person. I feel for the plight of XYZ. I mean, there's multiple televised genocides happening right now. It's really, really awful. And having empathy for what's going on in order to engage is not the same as taking in all of the suffering as if it's our own and punishing ourselves because we're not there also having bombs dropped on us. That's not going to help. That's not going to move the needle. And we have shame culture where pleasure equals selfishness. So the insight here is that we have learned to equate awareness with suffering. Because I'm aware of the suffering, I also must suffer. That's not true. Being aware of suffering doesn't mean we have to sink down and suffer along with those who are suffering. If we do that, then we can't be of any help. We need to there's a moral imperative here to enjoy the things that are put before you to enjoy. If you're one of the privileged few who's in a place to be able to enjoy something and it's put in front of you and you don't enjoy it because others don't have, then you're just taxing yourself and you're not adding enjoyment to the world. And I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing here. This is about biology. This is about science. We are wired for enjoyment. The brain has reward circuits, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin. These are not accidents. These are design features of the brain. So play, pleasure, connection, as those increase, you know what else increases? Resilience, creativity, problem solving. And you know what we're going to need to get out of the problems humanity is facing right now? Resilience, creativity, and problem solving. And so, in order to really tap into the deepest wisdom available to us, we need to allow pleasure, play, connection, and joy. So, enjoyment is not a distraction from life. It is how life sustains itself. It is the very way by which life continues moving forward, through enjoyment. In polyvagal theory, we know that the ventral vagal state equals safety plus connection plus joy. Ventral vagal is a fancy, boring way of saying the green light state, the rest and digest state, the state we want, the good one. You know what I mean? The one that we're in because life is okay. That state is promoted by safety, connection, and joy. So not allowing yourself joy because it somehow feels wrong because others don't have it isn't allowing you to find the deepest wisdom, the deepest connection you can to your own reality, and then your own deepest ability to problem solve, be creative, and re-engage with those who are actually suffering. Okay, so this is where empathy and cooperation and creativity live, inside joy, play, and wonder. You don't help the world by staying dysregulated. You help the world by tuning in, regulating your nervous system, overturning the limiting beliefs that say you're not allowed to enjoy the things that are put right in front of you to enjoy, and then going about your life trying to enjoy what you can, adding joy to the world, and then allowing the resilience, creativity, and problem-solving skills that come online because you're enjoying the world, re-engage those to help the people suffering where you used to just sit and watch the news and share in the suffering. Now, because you've brought joy into your life, you can actually engage and really move the needle, which is what you wanted to do from the beginning and you thought you were doing by just sitting there on the couch suffering along with people who are suffering. So even in behavioral science, we know this positive emotion broadens attention. Barbara Fredrickson has like the broaden and build theory. And the idea is basically when you feel good, you think bigger, you connect more, you think more high concept, you act more generously. And so joy literally makes you more capable of contributing to society. More capable, not less. So allow your joy. If you really, your heart really is saying, I want to help the world. I want to improve the world. I want to find a way to help humanity through this. I want to find a way to help my family, my community, whoever it is. The best way to put yourself in a position to be able to be of any actual use and help is to find and reconnect to your own joy. It is the wellspring of life. It is the energy that runs all things. So, I mean, even mysticism says this. Joy is built into reality. In Taoism, they say the Tao flows effortlessly. Life is not straining, it's unfolding. In Buddhism, they say suffering equals resistance and freedom equals allowing. So joy emerges when grasping relaxes and when we stop sort of the reaching and we allow and we surrender. Christianity says the kingdom of heaven is within you, not in the news cycle, not in constant vigilance, but in presence within you. And if you're continuing to put your attention externally onto things like the news with this meme that says you must tune into the news in order to be spiritual, totally ridiculous bunk, then you're not present. You're actually not. You're distracted. So become present. And in that presence, that felt sense of, hey, I'm okay. And I can take care of myself. And I have self-reliance and capability and compassion and courage at my core because we all do. It's called your inner wizard or, you know, the kingdom of heaven or yourself with a capital S. And when we can tap into that and the quickest pathway to that is joy. So when we can tap into that, then we become more present and more able to re-engage and show up without becoming overwhelmed by the suffering of others because it isn't ours. And that way we can then engage in it and help them. It's like, reminds me of that Hafiz, this little tiny poem, one line. And he says, troubled, then stay with me, for I am not. The world needs a lot more untroubled people now than ever before. And so if that's what you want, if you want a world filled with untroubled people, become one. Become one by tuning out alarmism, tuning out propaganda, and tuning into the truth of your authentic nature, what your joy and heart wants to do. And then as that clarity and freedom reorganizes your system, you can turn right back to all the people you want to help and the world you want to help, and you will be able to actually help as opposed to being overwhelmed under the emotions of suffering. I mean, you see this all over nature too. Trees don't consume trauma content. Rivers don't track global suffering. Birds don't check headlines. And yet they are all fully alive, fully participating, fully in reality. Reality is not organized around suffering. It is organized around aliveness. So you enjoying your life does not increase suffering. It increases your capacity to reduce it. You are not here to match the world's pain. You are here to metabolize the world's pain and your own pain and return something better. So today we're not going to force joy. We can't. That's ridiculous. Just the same way we don't want to force anything else. We're going to meet the parts, though, that believe joy is wrong. So we're going to just take 10 minutes here and do a little shift model practice to meet and connect with the parts of us that feel like joy is a bad idea. So take a breath and bring a moment to mind recently where you felt joy, ease, or play. And if you have to go a little further back because life's been crazy lately, that's okay. Go as far back as you need to find an authentic moment of joy, ease, or play. And then thinking back on it, notice what interrupted it back then. What was that voice or that feeling or that tightening that showed up to say, ooh, are you sure we can just relax into joy? Are you sure? Isn't there another shoe out there? And now we're going to do a tapping and parts practice together. So begin tapping on the side of your hand. And remember, this is repeat after me. And if anything I say doesn't resonate, just change it in real time to something that resonates for you. You can keep your eyes open to follow along with the tapping points. If you know the tapping points, you're okay to close your eyes. Even though part of me believes I shouldn't enjoy myself when others are suffering, I acknowledge that belief. Even though joy feels inappropriate and wrong sometimes, I honor that part of me. Even though I feel guilty when I feel good, I am open to noticing that. Top of the head. I shouldn't be enjoying this. Eyebrow. This guilt. Side of the eye. This hesitation. Under the eye. This sense that it's wrong. Under the nose. Other people are suffering. Chin. So who am I to feel good? This heavy feeling, collarbone. This heavy feeling. Under the arm. This guilt around joy. Now just stop here, pause, allow yourself to relax and take a nice slow deep breath in. Just connect a little more to this part that's emerging as you tap and relax. And check in, what does this part believe will happen if you allow yourself to fully enjoy your life? Just check in, what does this part believe would happen if you really allow yourself to enjoy your life? Just take a moment with that. If you need to jot anything down, that's okay. If you're watching from the future and you need to pause the video, that's okay. If you're with me live, then just take a moment, and when you're ready, you can begin again on the side of your hand. Even though part of me believes I have to stay tuned into suffering to be a good person, I acknowledge that belief. Even though I feel like I should keep watching, reading, and staying aware, I honor that part. Even though this part thinks attention equals compassion, I am open to understanding that more. Top of the head. I have to stay informed. Eyebrow. I have to stay aware. Side of the eye. I should keep watching. Under the eye. I should keep checking. Under the nose. If I don't, I'm avoiding reality. Chin. If I don't care. Collarbone. this pressure to stay plugged in. Under the arm, this belief that suffering equals awareness. Okay, stop tapping. Put your hands on your heart if that feels aligned, and take a nice slow deep breath in through your nose and a long slow exhale through pursed lips. And just reflect and notice. How did this part learn that caring means feeling bad? That connecting with others who are suffering means we have to feel the suffering ourselves? Where did this part learn this? Just ask. You don't have to force an answer. And just see what comes up. See how the parts are responding to us putting our attention on them right now. These parts that are uneasy about joy. Just let however they feel be okay. We're not here to judge them. They've been through a lot, and our culture has taught them that joy is wrong. So just continuing in patience and curiosity and persistence. Begin tapping on the side of your hand as we meet this protector. Even though this part is trying to keep me compassionate, I respect its intention. Even though this part believes guilt keeps me connected, I honor how hard it works. Even though this part doesn't trust joy yet, I am open to meeting it. Top of the head. This protector part. Eyebrow. It wants me to care. Side of the eye. It doesn't want me to disconnect. Under the eye. It thinks guilt keeps me human. Under the nose. It thinks suffering keeps me aware. Chin. It's trying to help me. Collarbone. It's trying to protect something. Under the arm. And I appreciate its effort. Okay. Stop tapping and take that nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose and a long, slow exhale through pursed lips. And just see if this part is willing to share. What is it afraid would happen if you allow yourself to experience joy? What is this part afraid would happen? What is it afraid you might become if you allow yourself joy? And just see what comes up. There's no wrong answers. It's okay if parts don't want to share right now. We're just here providing space for them with the energy of our self, our authentic nature, our inner wizard. So we'll just do another round here before we visualize at the end. And we're going to open to joy just a little bit. So begin tapping on the side of your hand. Even though part of me feels guilty for enjoying life, I am open to new possibility. Even though I've been taught that joy is selfish, I am willing to question that. Even though I don't fully trust this yet, I am open to letting in a little more joy. Top of the head. Maybe joy is allowed. Eyebrow. Maybe joy is needed. Side of the eye. Maybe joy is part of the design. Under the eye. Maybe I don't have to suffer to care. Under the nose. Maybe I can feel good and still be compassionate. Chin. Maybe joy helps me show up better. Collarbone. Maybe joy is how I contribute. Under the arm. Maybe I'm allowed to enjoy my life. Okay, stop tapping there. Place your hands on your heart if that feels aligned, and you can close your eyes here. take that nice, slow, deep breath in and a long, slow exhale through pursed lips. And just imagine yourself in a moment of pure joy, of pure enjoyment, something simple, laughing, walking in nature, music, sunlight, being fully present, whatever that is for you. Just allow yourself to settle into this imagined moment of perfect joy. And now notice there is no interruption, no guilt, no voice telling you to stop, no comparison, just being alive in that memory, in that joy. Now zoom out and see yourself in the world, still connected, still caring, and still aware, but no longer weighed down. Instead, you're energized, open, available, creative, fueled by joy. And from that place, you actually have more to give. So take one more deep breath here and let that feeling land. That feeling of how joy energizes you and increases your capabilities. You were never meant to carry the world's suffering by dimming your own light. You were meant to be fully alive, and you were meant to let aliveness ripple out to. You were meant to. We are meant to enjoy our lives. We are meant to. So if what you heard here resonates, then share this video with those who you know who might appreciate this message. And if you have any questions about these topics, put some comments in the chat and I will get back to you. We want to help you get unstuck and celebrate your wins. Because remember, DIY wellness means do it yourself, but that does not mean you have to do it all by yourself. So until then, I will see you next week at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. Keep taking personal growth into your own hands. Much love, everybody. I trust you, humanity. Bye.